I'm making progress with my self-portrait here, but I'm feeling a bit self-conscious about the nose. I've added a nose in, but I think maybe I want it to be either smaller or bigger. I haven't decided yet. So let's look at how we grow things or shrink them. The first thing to do is to make sure we're on the layer with the object we want to shrink or grow. So I'm on the nose layer. If you want, you can double check by clicking the eye to make sure you know what's on that layer. And I'm going to draw a box around the thing I'd like to shrink or grow. Once I've done that, I can use the scale tool. Now, just like a few other things in GIMP, this can often look a bit intimidating, right? Because when I start clicking, oh, what's happened? Alright, so it looks quite intimidating, but actually all that's happened here is something you're very familiar with. I can grow or shrink my selection, and the mesh just gives me an idea of whether I'm stretching it. I can also, of course, choose to manually type in. Maybe I want it to be 150 pixels wide, and it will follow that instruction. If I'm not happy, I can reset. Right, I think my nose is too small on this picture, so I'm going to grow it somewhat. There we go, that'll do, slightly bigger. And when I'm happy, I can press scale. Now, of course, I'll need to move it. So I'm going to use the move tool and put it back. And you'll notice that now I've moved it, if you're paying attention, you'll see it's actually put it on its own layer. It's a floating selection, just like if we'd moved it. So before I move on, I need to make that a new layer. And I'm actually going to merge it down so it goes back onto my nose layer. Okay, there we go. So I can use that to shrink things or grow them. Quick recap, if you want to shrink something or grow something, I've decided actually that nose is a bit too big. Draw a box around it, make sure you're on the right layer. Grab the scale tool and click, and then you can simply drag to shrink or grow. And when you're happy, press scale. There we go. It'll create a floating selection that you'll then need to turn into a layer and maybe merge with your previous one. There we are. I've got a wonky nose now. That's all gone horribly wrong, hasn't it? I'll fix that after the end of the video.